Good morning. Welcome to a new vlog. The kiln is on and firing a bisque fire of all the pieces for my next shop update. And my mom and I are making cardamom buns. So going to head into the kitchen and do that. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy another week making stuff for my shop update and just running my small business. Good morning. Cardamom buns, success. They're so gooey, yummy, delicious. I'm so proud of us for doing that. I've never baked anything before, especially haven't used yeast before. So it was a fun experiment and a great reward. Today, I'm going to unload all of these pieces from the kiln, hopefully no cracks or anything, and then head to the studio to start figuring out what I want to do on all of them. I have a rough idea, but it always helps when I actually have the piece in hand to make my. It always helps when I have the piece in hand to make my final decision. So, with that, let's unload. Hello, everything made it back on the shelf, and now to paint all of it. Will I actually paint all of it? Probably not. A couple of things I just wanted to have stock of, so I don't feel the need to like paint every big hug or every of my tall tumblers. But all of the stuff that I had made like specifically for the spring update will definitely get painted. And I don't know if I said this already, I'm pushing the date back of my shop update to the 28th. No, the 27th. It's a Friday. Just so I could have more time to actually do the what I wanted to do and not rush through it. On my wall this year, I have take your time because I think anxiety shows up for me in that I don't have time to do things and I have to like rush through it. And I don't want to live like that or create art like that. So I'm pacing this batch and letting myself shine through in the glaze and in the ideas that I had for that. Some of them are simple, some more complex, and I just want to have time to do that. So I'm proud of myself for switching my own little original game plan and trusting the process, and that by taking my time, I'll be more happy with the final outcome than I were if I were to have rushed it. So that's great. I went to IKEA the other night and got lucky in the as is section in perfect time. I got a nice apron for my glazing because I like to keep things separate so I don't have to use that one for this one for glazing. I can just use it for clay. And I've been in need of a bucket to put my prepped clay in so that I don't have to keep storing stuff in my plastic bags because it just creates so much dust. And this was in the as is section because it didn't have a lid. Um, but I can easily just put a board over it and call it a day. So that was a nice find. And then I got a toilet scrubber because I have one glaze that I mixed last year and I want to use it. And this is a better way of mixing than the like paint stirrer that I originally had. And now it actually consists of like 3 or 4 different glazes. So I wanted to fire something in it this batch just to see what color it actually is. It was like a speckled white, a like creamy glossy white, and a like ochre mustardy brown. So I'm curious as to what, when those combine, what it looks like. So again, I probably spent less than $20 on things that are going to change my life. And that feels like a win. So I'm gonna get my list up on the wall, maybe of what I have planned for all of these things, just so I can see it clearly. And then we're gonna have our little bi-weekly meeting and just check in on what we're both working on. Love that about sharing a space with someone. Okay, there's that. I'm very proud of myself. Once I see the shelves are full, it feels like I'm actually doing something. Hello, good morning. It is now Wednesday. That's crazy. I need to paint so much stuff, and so I'm gonna get started. I made a big list of my hopes and dreams, and we'll see if I can get this done. Obviously not today, but the goal is to have them in the kiln by Thursday, a week from today. And I think that's possible. I have a lot of pieces, but as I said yesterday, Not all of them are going to get painted immediately. So, off we go. Good morning. It is Thursday, the end of my pottery week. The goal is to do these today. It's 9:30 almost. I just need to paint the inside and outside of these guys. I'm excited with how they turned out. I'm torn on leaving the raw clay around the stars or covering it with glaze. I cannot decide. And I will not decide until I absolutely have to, but I'm gonna get right to it so that I can hopefully get all this done. I'm gonna post on Instagram because I've been trying to keep up with that, and then get right to it. It's now Saturday. My camera died the last time I was here, but I'm gonna finish glazing and I'll see you next week for a kiln load that will hopefully end in so many happy tears and my spring launch being ready to be launched. So, thank you as always for joining. I'll see you next time.